Today's game can only be enjoyed using the NES's light gun, or the Zapper, as it was formerly known. It was published by Nintendo and developed by a studio so unknown it doesn't even have a blue Wikipedia link. And based on some other internet searches, this game was the only thing they developed. When I tried to dig deeper to find any individuals who might have been responsible for this one, and what they might have gone on to do later, I came up empty. Oh well. So without further ado, what is going on with To the Earth on the NES? I keep making the mistake of thinking light gun games are going to be easy, because how hard can pointing at things be? Well, it turns out it can be pretty friggin' hard when the things you're pointing at come at you in super fast rapid succession and are ridiculously small on screen. And on top of all of that, they bombard you with missiles constantly. That makes To the Earth one of the most difficult NES games I have ever reviewed on this channel, or have even attempted to play in general. And yes, I even tried this one by point blanking the TV with the Zapper, but my poor trigger finger simply couldn't keep up. Let's get the story out of the way real quick. The year is 2050, and the human race has been nearly wiped out by the Ragosians, who commenced a bacterial attack upon Earth. No bueno. You know how it goes by now. It's up to you, and you alone, in your spaceship called the Tempest, to return to Earth and deliver a neutralizing agent to end the devastation. First, you have to travel to 4 different planets to get minerals that comprise the agent: Uranus, Saturn, Jupiter, and of course, Earth. The Ragosians are set on murdering you so that you aren't successful and send a rather large space fleet in your direction to stop you. Good luck. So that's how this game is structured. 4 missions to the 4 different planets, but man, it's tough. First of all, the manual specifies for you to be 6 feet from the TV when you play a light gun game, and most people aren't going to do that. But if you did get 6 feet away, your chances of getting very far in this game are right around 0%. Every guide I read for this one specified that 18 inches is about perfect for having a chance at all, so keep that in mind. Every stage is the same recipe, with gradually increasing difficulty as you go. Shoot all the ships with your light gun, and while you have infinite ammo, each missed shot will use up some of your precious energy indicated by the yellow bar in the center, so your shots need to be on target and deliberate. That same energy bar is also your health, and at some point the ships you see will start firing back at you. My best recommendation here is to just focus on the missiles, otherwise you'll die quickly. And it's best to shoot at things the larger they are on screen to ensure you hit them, which means waiting until they're dangerously close. I'm not sure that's a strategy anyone who has actually finished this game would endorse, but I got further trying that than when trying to pick off everything from a distance. You can get 3 power-ups that are pretty helpful. A little red bomb sometimes appears on the bottom right, and if you shoot that, it will wipe the screen of enemies. You only get 1 at a time though, so there's no sense in trying to hoard them. You can also get a little extra health if you shoot this icon on the bottom left when it appears. It's usually dropped by an allied ship, and while it's typically smart to shoot anything on the screen that moves, shooting your friend here will take off some of your health. The last thing you can get is a barrier, which protects you from a few hits. You can get this by shooting the comet that you occasionally see drifting by. It's helpful, but normally shows up right before a barrage of missiles, so I got conditioned to freak out about the barrier rather than get excited. There are bosses at the end of each stage, and honestly, they seem a little easier than the regular gamut of enemies you'll face in any given stage, but that's just probably because they aren't zipping by you at neck-breaking pace, so you can freely fire on them without missing too many shots. Despite its arcade level of difficulty, I did have fun with this one for a bit, although I'll admit, I don't spend a lot of time wielding the light gun these days, so it could have just been the novelty of being a space cowboy for a little while, because I really wasn't very successful with this one at all. There's no guide that will give you a breakthrough for getting better at it either. You really just have to have knockout aim, good reflexes, and a trigger finger that just won't quit. My finger was cramping so bad in some of the late stages I could hardly act out E.T. doing his phone home finger maneuver without cringing in pain, which is a shame. That's one of my favorite finger maneuvers. You only get 3 lives and no continues. With infinite continues, you might stand a chance with To the Earth, and there are no level passwords either. There are some Game Genie codes I found that were useful, which I admit is how I was able to get some footage here beyond the first few minutes of the game, and I want to also mention, the music here isn't all that bad, but there's not much of it, and truthfully, I don't think there needs to be, given that most people won't last very long to hear it. Well, that really is all there is To the Earth on the NES. It's just a little too difficult to have wide appeal despite how fun it sounds to break out the zapper to shoot down spaceships. Do some trigger finger yoga before you try it though, and thanks for watching.